And we are live. Welcome everyone to another live stream. This is the regularly scheduled live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right around this time, 12 p.m. PST or 7 p.m. UTC. Usually 30 minutes late because I'm I'm just like not on time. But welcome. I've got everything settled now, so I have like all the time in the world to do the stream and walk through like questions and all kinds of stuff with you guys. So yeah, as usual, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are the streams for me personally, myself, and then usually we go through Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin dominance, all TA, and then we do kind of from top down, right? Largest market cap, mid cap, low cap. What's the trending narratives? Is there anything specifically interesting right now that I'm looking at? And then in the end, we do Q&As. So yeah, that's the usual format. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I see some people already in. We are live on our YouTube and Twitter. So both the Virtual Bacon and Bacon DAO accounts, as well as Discord. So if you want to follow along and ask more questions after the stream, make sure you join our Discord. Link in everywhere, I think. Description. So yeah, let's do it. Let me bring up the screen and let's do Bitcoin analysis first. Okay, so here we have Bitcoin. As you can tell from the title. So Bitcoin is still ranging, right? This is the weekly chart and paints us a really clean picture here, right? Because where are the weekly closes before, right? That has Bitcoin closed at the highest levels. That was just around 60K. And then let me bring up the magnet right here around 51 and then 43. So 3 levels to pretty much give us all the context we need, which is as long as we close above and stay above 60K and see a bounce here, this is straight up price discovery and super extremely bullish case, right? A little bit more conservative would be, okay, looking at 52K, 53K, right, as a first like very significant bounce level to watch, right? Even if we come down back into this range and retest something like 52, 53K, that would still be very, very bullish, right? Because this move we had thus far is a series of higher highs and higher lows. Not only on weekly, but daily, it's much more clear, right? Where we've had since the 30K bottom. Can I just, come on. Let me remove this drawing here. So brush 30K bottom, right? And then even in this smaller move here, right? Series of higher highs and higher lows. And then we had, if you're into early waves, this is also very much like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 is a very complex wave, right? And then 5, and then we had an ABC correction, right? Now we're back in. So regardless, the higher highs and higher lows is very, very clear, right? With, you could say this is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then in the medium term, right, we had first higher high, first higher low, second higher high now. So as long as this move, right, whether it bounces from here, or even from here, doesn't really matter, because as long as it respects 43K and prints a higher high above the previous higher low above the previous higher low, this would still be a uptrend in the long term. I would say this is already long term because this is lasting 3 months now, right? So this tells us that Bitcoin is in a very, very good spot, very safe spot as well, right? If you just Google like uptrend, higher lows, right? And look at the image. just for a quick reminder, right? Something like this. And a bit more practical levels is something like this, where you have the higher highs and higher lows, and the invalidation level sits at the higher low, but usually price doesn't even reach the last higher high and just bounces from there. So looking at this here, where's the previous higher high? That's at 51.5, 52K, right? On the daily, precisely. So very, very bullish case would be if we bounce from 60K, right? A bit more conservative, but still very bullish would be a bounce from 52K, which is the previous higher high. This would still be very bullish. Yeah, and then the key level that we absolutely need to hold above, the bottom line, is 43, right? That's pretty much all you need to see here. And then I'm sure if you bring up the textbook like indicators for EMA, right? Just on 21 weekly, right? That's right within this range. And if we start dipping, right, as we get close to 43, this weekly would probably be close to 43 as well. And then same as 200 daily, it's very likely to be within these two ranges, right? So far, really, really positive for Bitcoin, right? Let me just see if we have any problems with sound at all. Nobody's complaining, so we're probably good. Okay, and yeah, so that's that. That's for Bitcoin. And when I say Bitcoin is ranging currently, it's ranging. You see these past 3 weekly candles, all closed technically above 60K, right? Even though it's sideways, they are closing above 60K, which means we're technically consolidating above technically previous all-time high, right around there. So this is super bullish. This from October 20th to pretty much the past 12 days or so. This here has given us a great opportunity where Bitcoin is just consolidating before price discovery. And then this has given a really good spot for alts to have a brief run. Now, as long as this continues to go sideways, something like this, alts will have a great time. But it is very, very important to keep in mind that I would say on a daily chart, once we clearly break here, like 64, 65K, enter into price discovery, alts will quickly fall in line and start to underperform and start to pull back against Bitcoin. It's just inevitable. It has happened every time that Bitcoin has actually seen explosive growth. Just like right here, this move, and right here, this move. I'm quite sure that both moves seen like alts not really outperforming. We can try to bring up the chart here with a comparison to BTC.D. Might slap myself in the face here because I'm not too sure. Haven't checked this before, but yeah. So here you see dominance rose a little bit. Maybe I can pop this up. Move to pin to left scale, right? Yeah, this is much clearer. So you see from July 20th to about July 30th, that 10 days, you see Bitcoin dominance rising, right? So this was reverse alt season. Alts lost value against Bitcoin. Here, same thing, right? From October 1st to October 20th, when Bitcoin had a major rally, right? When it actually breaks out into a new uptrend, in this orange line here, you also see Bitcoin dominance rising, right? So currently, because Bitcoin is consolidating, we are seeing alts run, but and I do have a lot of alts right now, but don't get mistaken. And if you are trying to chase these kind of rotations, then definitely watch Bitcoin every single day, right? Because the moment that it breaks above 64, 65, 66K, right, that does something like this, alts will start to underperform Bitcoin. Probably will still go up against dollar, but probably will lose value against Bitcoin. So definitely pay attention. That's not to say, oh, alts are going to be bearish. No, very much the contrary. It's when this happens, you want to be positioned in Bitcoin where Bitcoin runs very quickly. And then once Bitcoin starts doing these kind of consolidation moves, that's the time you get into alts. So that's the context we need right now to know what to be positioned in, which is currently Bitcoin is consolidating. Alts are seeing a short-term run. So I am in alts right now. But if this happens, right, at any time where Bitcoin breaks out, I'll just have to shift a lot of the alts that are in profit into Bitcoin. So that's if you are watching this stream and you're trying to do this, you have to at least like on a daily basis know, okay, has Bitcoin broken out yet? If you're not ready for that, then you should just be kind of holding Bitcoin and alts in proportional value at current time. Because over, let's say, 1 month to 3 months period, Bitcoin and alts will all go up, right? And because Bitcoin is less volatile, you should just hold like maybe 30% Bitcoin, like 20% ETH, and then rest like in many alts, and just not try to rotate. That's a lot fairer, right? If you're not aware of what Bitcoin is doing on a daily basis, then that's what you should be doing. But for me personally, because this is what I do, so this is how I'm looking at it right now. So that's the context we need. Moving on to Ethereum. Very strong Ethereum is currently. So I actually break out above previous all-time high now. So I would not be surprised if Ethereum just like starts to actually accelerate here. Not much to say. Bitcoin is consolidating. Ethereum is largest altcoin. It's the first to run whenever Bitcoin consolidates. So I would explain this move quite a lot. Not much to say, honestly. Like, you shouldn't be trying to trade this, to be quite frank with you. Just like the Bitcoin breakout above previous all-time high, right around 64, 65K. I would say how I would be taking this is, if I'm mostly in alts, I wouldn't be holding ETH. But if I'm doing like a 1 to 3 months kind of balanced portfolio, then I would say for the main holding positions, I would do a breakdown of Bitcoin and ETH, and then the rest of the alts are individually like much smaller allocations in my portfolio. You shouldn't try to time this. Just kind of, especially now that it's above all-time high, like you don't want to be in a position where you are buying the breakout above all-time high, and if it does something like this, where it retests kind of the previous higher high here, right? Something like that you would be super sweaty. That's not the chart's fault. The analysis here is very clear. It's in an uptrend, right? With ever since down here, 1.9K, right? Higher, not even higher high there, but break of this neckline, right? And higher high, higher low. So now another higher high, right? This might bounce from the previous higher high here. It just needs to stay above the bottom line, which is 2.9K. So very clear uptrend in a medium to long-term time frame, right? But that doesn't mean you can like take leverage on it and just like go all in, because it will continue doing stuff like this, right? That's what uptrends look like. So every time that it does one of these swings, if you are just sweaty, that it does something like 15% kind of short-term swing. If even that makes you sweaty, then that just means you are not doing it correctly. Like with such a large market cap type of asset like Bitcoin and Ethereum, you shouldn't be that overexposed. It's very difficult for you to be overexposed like that anyways. Yeah, so I would say as long as you are not doing leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's like less than 50% of your portfolio, I don't see any way you can lose on this. Yeah, like because the bottom line here is like 2.9K, and then that's like what 25%, 30%, right? Even if it drops 30% tomorrow, let's say I have 50% of my portfolio in ETH, drops 30% tomorrow, that's only a 15% loss on my entire portfolio. I would not be sweating that. So I don't think there is any way you can lose on this unless you are overexposed, unless you are doing leverage, which is the worst thing you can do right now. For Bitcoin and Ethereum, absolutely do not use any leverage whatsoever right now because things are about to get very, very volatile, right? Ethereum is now above previous all-time high. Bitcoin could at any time break above previous all-time high. Once that happens, the volatility will tick up, right? The swings will get more and more violent as the run accelerates. That's the worst time you want to be leveraged. So yeah, if you are super into kind of longer term, just continue holding and DCAing, whether it's like swinging up, swinging down, doesn't matter, right? Ethereum bottom line 2.9K at a higher low, Bitcoin bottom line 43K previous higher low. That's literally all you need to know right now if you are holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So yeah, look at the bottom lines and don't do leverage. And I can't see any way you can lose. Yeah. Okay, moving on to Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, so I was betting on this move happening kind of a week and a half ago. It's not happening. It clearly is not happening. So this is why like I've been tweeting a lot of altcoins. I've been posting a lot of altcoin plays in our Discord as well. So yeah, just gotta not be stubborn. I still think very much the breakout here will happen, right? Eventually. But clearly that wasn't like this. It might be like this right here. It might be a revisit to 40% before it ticks up. I don't know. But very clearly, now is not the time to be stubborn and say, I only want to hold Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin is consolidating. It's ranging. Altcoins are pumping. So I'm in alts right now. Yeah, that's that. So now let's clean up some of these levels. I think this 47.5 is from weekly. Yeah, so this is from the weekly chart, 47.5%. I am quite, yeah, I'm still in the camp that this 47.5% will break eventually when Bitcoin really has its run. But it's not happening right now. So yeah, I'm in alts. And I think this now just is telling me that we are in a short-term alt season, right? So definitely a good time to be holding alts. But again, if you have most of your portfolio's exposure in altcoins right now, that is a bet on short-term alt season, right? Which is you are betting that Bitcoin will not come and ruin the party, or at least you are, if your portfolio is mostly altcoins, like more than 50%, it is a bet basically on the fact that you can react very quickly if Bitcoin pumps, if Bitcoin breaks above previous all-time high, right? So two ways you can do this, right? If you are not watching Bitcoin and you're saying that, oh yeah, I'm okay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin dominance like running, and you're trying to do like 1 to 3 months, then your portfolio shouldn't be more than 50% alts. It should be like what I said before, like 30% Bitcoin, something like 20% ETH. So you have that exposure, right? That will balance your portfolio out. Even if Bitcoin has a short-term run, it doesn't matter, right? Because in the short term, then your Bitcoin stash and Ethereum stash will run. Your alt stash will lag behind a bit, but then like when Bitcoin consolidates, your alt stash will catch up. So it's very balanced. You don't need to worry. For me personally, I like to be positioned heavily in either Bitcoin, Ethereum when they run, or in mostly alts when Bitcoin is consolidating, right? So if you are doing it that way, in the second way that I just described, like me, then you have to know when Bitcoin dominance is in a short-term downtrend, and when Bitcoin is in the short-term either ranging or if it's uptrending, right? Currently, it's ranging. So yeah, I'm in alts right now, but every day I check like 2-3 times on Bitcoin dominance whether it prints any sort of like kind of reversal pattern like that, and whether if Bitcoin has broken above all-time high, right? So that's the premise that gives myself like the kind of confidence to react in case Bitcoin breaks above all-time high at any time. Because as we speak, right, Bitcoin at any time could break up, right? And when that happens, I just need to take profits from the altcoins that I'm winning in. And whether I move majorly into Bitcoin or 50-50, I have to make a move, right? Yeah, so if you are more than 50% in alts right now, you have to watch what Bitcoin is doing. But if you are, let's say, half in Bitcoin and Ethereum, half in alts, then you don't actually need to worry about this too much. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, overall, this is not a time to be stressed, and not a time to be bearish in any way whatsoever, until the signs prove us otherwise, right? So yeah, it really, really is important to have actually an up-only mindset right now, and just try to find the way that works for you, whether that's monitoring Bitcoin and trying to be mostly positioned in alts and then rotating back into Bitcoin, rotating back into alts again, or just have like Bitcoin and Ethereum at all times and then do alts with the rest of your portfolio, right? Just trying to find what works for you, and just also assume that this is up only period, right? Okay, so that's that. And then let's move on to what else? Let me think. Yeah, I would say this is like short-term opportunities, current gems, let's say, right? So couple things that I am looking at right now. So of course there's the usual like things that I posted on my Twitter, right? So the pinned message on my Twitter, that's the kind of portfolio breakdown that I see like really thesis, catalyst, and TA driven kind of plan for the next like 3 months, right? After BTC pump, especially. So I always monitor these, right? Joel signups, ICE, Spell, these are like cross-chain and AVAX narrative. Ohm, Time, Tempo, Clima, these are Olympus forks. Dot, Moonbeam, Glimmer, Akala, Astar, these are Polkadot parachains. And then we have Parallel NFT and Prime. This is the largest like NFT game. We have Grow, Chess, Ribbon, Lemma. These are the structured products narrative that I'm really into for DeFi. And then there's a couple more like Ronin, Immutable X, Engine Infinity. This is like Metaverse Place, GMX, Curve Convex, Near Ecosystem, Frax Shares. I would also add like Mirror Circle here. This is a LBP that's up and coming. Yeah, so this thread is like super good. This is kind of what I watch, what I want my portfolio to be comprised of. Now, this doesn't mean that I just like throw money at all of them at the same time. They do fluctuate individually, right? Currently, Grow is super cheap. Ribbon is super cheap. Joe is pretty cheap. Spell has gone up a lot. Clima is really cheap because it's on a pretty major correction right now. Spell and Ice are pumping like no tomorrow. Ice is like just about to launch, and Spell is like just Spell. They're just insane. So it's a good time to kind of rebalance from Spell and Ice, I would say. Synapse also very decently cheap. Polkadot ecosystem with Akala, Astar, Moonbeam. These are launching like the next week. At least the crowd loans will start. So watch those. Yeah, so that's the main gems, I think. One individual gem is like this one that we talked about yesterday, Mirror Circle. This is a kind of like YGG, like very, very similar to YGG, but also super big backers. They're in all of the Play to Earn games. They're doing their sale, public sale on LBP. And this is launching actually tomorrow until Friday. So check this out. I would say, yeah, let's see if there's a LBP. Yeah, here. So my target for this LBP is at least below 50 cents. I would say like something like 30 to 40 cents would be probably my target to buy in. So here is the what is it? LBP details here, right? From tomorrow till Friday, sale for 3 days. They have they're selling like 7.5% of their entire token supply, which is very good, very fair. And every early investor is locked for the first 6 months, and very long vesting. I think it's like 3 years vesting. So very, very long vesting. Same as the team. So really good tokenomics, actually. I definitely would not ape in at $1 because keep in mind this is 1 billion total supply, so you wouldn't want to get in this at 1 billion fully diluted valuation. But something like below 500 million, let's say 300-400, pretty decent for public sale price. Yeah, pretty decent. So definitely watch this. I'll be like actively participating tomorrow until Friday. Let's see what else is there. I think Clima is still on a dip. Let's just go through those, right? Clima's been down quite a bit, actually. Yeah, so charting the market cap is the way to do it. Market cap went as low as 500 million. So this is, I would say, a really good opportunity here. How much did price go down? Yeah, price has gone down to like pretty much listing price. So also really good. Not much to say there. I would say for market cap here, if I can chart this, cointrader.pro charts maybe, might be able to chart this market cap. Clima, USD, shit, Clima DAO, no? Come on. Well, that sucks. Did I type it wrong? No, I didn't. Anywhere else I can chart this? Yeah, Dex Tools. Chart this on Dex Tools. Polygon. Clima. Sure. Do this. Cool. And then pump this out. Let's do like 4 hour. I hate this big candle here. It ruins the whole fun. Log. Yeah. Probably line. Yeah, line chart for this. And then I want RSI. This volume though. I need to scale this volume. How do I scale this? How do I ignore this first bar? That's so dumb. Below? No. Left scale? Yeah. Bump this up. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. That's more useful. Put that there. This is on 4. Yeah, so here. So price downtrend, right? Whereas see volume declining and RSI haven't reverted yet, but let's do like a hourly. Yeah, I wouldn't be in this yet. This was a good spot to enter for bounce. You see the RSI divergence here, right? Price going down, RSI going up, right? Price specifically lower lows, whereas RSI higher lows, and you see volume declining. This means the downwards momentum was going down, right? But we did make a new low here, right? So that means we got to kind of zoom it out a little bit more. Yeah, I would say probably one more drive down. Where was the chart? Main chart. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Log chart is fucking us up here. Regular is better probably with candles. Huh. This chart is very different from what's on CoinGecko here. Right? Very different. Why is that? What's the low on CoinGecko here? Oh, that's the market cap chart. Right, makes sense. Makes sense. Price, yeah. So 1.6 and then 1.3. What was the low here? 1.6, 1.3. Okay, so that's about right. So usually there's a pattern called 3 drives, which is when you see these kind of lower lows, that seems to be every time there's a bounce, but volume is declining, right? Usually the reversal happens after 3 drives. So yeah, I would expect another drive down here, maybe. And especially because we haven't seen like something like RSI really tick back. As this, right, low here and this low here, you see RSI also made a low. So not a good sign. of this completing, I would ideally like to see something like another drive down. We print another lower low, but here we see a divergence where this RSI comes down, but bounces and makes a higher low. This divergence would be kind of where I enter. So I'd say maybe another dip to 1K. That would be a really ideal trade for me to enter. Yeah, not saying this will necessarily happen, but what I'm saying is like, yes, it's cheap right now, but entering right here is a bit high risk for me personally. Yeah, so I'm not buying here just yet. But yeah, let me remove all the drawing. If we see something like this, not like that, but something like this, where we made a new lower low, right, and start to bounce, and very clear price downtrend, but on RSI, we make a higher low and start to bounce. Sorry, precisely at this tick, start to bounce, and RSI make a higher low. If this happens, this right here will be my entry. Hasn't happened, might not happen, and if it doesn't happen, I'll just not touch it. But if it does happen, I think this will be a super good opportunity. So yeah, watching this for the next probably day or so. Yeah, we'll see soon enough. Okay, so that's Clima. Okay. What else is on my radar? So DAO. This one is just like super cheap, honestly. Went as low as $14. What's the main market for this? I think it's Uni Sushi. Yeah, so we can chart it here as well. That's on ETH. Actually, Dex Guru might be better. Dex Guru might be actually better than Dex Tools. So you have one search. So if you look up Grow here, pretty sure they have it. Yeah. You see volume, liquidity, see all the trades. It's just super good. Yeah, so this is probably 4 hour. Yeah. Pop this out. Can I get an indicator on this? Cannot. Indicator, RSI. Yeah, this is much cleaner. Yeah. So can I get a drawing tool? I cannot. Yeah, these guys don't like me. But drawing tool? No. Nothing. Okay. This is a buy right here for DAO. So you see price, lower highs, RSI, higher highs, and especially at the lower lows and higher lows, and especially at the third drive. Usually that's the point where the reversal confirms. Yeah, so DAO here, super good opportunity, I would say. Yeah. Not much else to say. Like, it fits the narrative of structured products where you want to deposit, like, let's say a stablecoin or ETH, Bitcoin, whatever it is, and you just want very simple but optimized to trade based on all the DeFi products out there, right? So if you have a stablecoin, you don't want to bother with COMEX, Yearn, Curve, UniV3, whatever. You just put it into DAO, right? And then based on each pool, based on like how much of their total stablecoin like deposit there is, and they can deposit into different pools and try to get the optimized yields for each one, right? So you might have like 20 million of like TVL that you can like put into UniV3 that won't dilute everything. You can deposit some more in the curve that won't dilute the yield too much. That's what Rollout does, right? And they have this kind of protection mechanism where you have people that want to do more like leveraged yield, and you have people that want to have protected yield. And the protected yield provide the leverage for the leveraged yield farmers for stablecoins, and then the leverage yield people provide the protection for the protected yield, right? So the protected yield vault has lower yield, but their principal is always guaranteed, right? So that kind of product is what I would say structured products. Yeah, so GrowDAO is one, Ribbon is another. These things are, yeah, like super, super good. I think these things are just set to explode, and especially right here at for GrowDAO. Really good price as well. So that's Grow. I would say Ribbon also fits that narrative. Let's look at Ribbon price here. Where is it listed? Uniswap and Gate. Why is it not? Does it not have UniV3? Huh. Maybe I just copied the token address here. Yeah, that should work, right? Here. What the fuck? that's weird. It probably lost the Oracle or something. Yeah. Yeah, you see there were a lot of volume, but the platform kind of broke a little bit here. It lost the price Oracle. So can't really chart that there. We'll chart that here. Yeah, so Ribbon also looks really good. First higher low has been printed, technically speaking. I think it's just no brainer at these valuations. Like it's just so low. People have FUDed long enough, right? With the divergence whole fiasco, so many people were FUDed out their own bags. Yeah, like people don't understand what this is. They think it's like people farm this and it's a airdrop and let's sell our airdrop because this is like going nowhere. What is this? They just don't understand it. So that's great opportunity for us. So I would say anything under $2 definitely accumulate. Just like DCA into Ribbon. What else is there that's currently cheap? I'd say Joel. Still at $2.50. Like this is kind of becoming a meme, but oh yeah, one thing that I saw, very, very interesting is where can I get the chart for this? Okay, it has market. So let's do trading view for this. And let's do Joe USD. No, Joe. Fuck. Okay. Dex Guru, Joe. Oh wow, these guys are good. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Can I do two charts comparison? Doesn't look like it. ChartX. So let me do one on the left, one more on the right. And Avalanche Network. AVAX charts. And this one, I need the Joel chart. Here. Okay. AVAX, Joel. Here. So this is very interesting, actually. And let's do daily for both. So you know how when AVAX first announced their liquidity mining incentive, right, in August? It's like kind of right here. This is not a full chart, but Pangolin, Trader Joe. Wrap AVAX. What? Why does it not go back? That's mean. Whatever. You see how these two charts are very similar since this August period, right? If you really zoom out to August 28, August 24, right? See how Joel has pretty much just been, Joel is the one here on the right, AVAX is the one on the left. So yes, Joel hasn't really pumped that much, but what is that mostly because? What is that mostly due to? It's because AVAX ecosystem is undervalued. AVAX coin itself is undervalued. And this chart is like actually super powerful because what this is telling me is that Joel is like pretty much a free way to get leverage position on AVAX ecosystem and AVAX coin itself. And on top of that, it has its own narrative of being like, okay, what if the DEX really takes off and grows beyond AVAX ecosystem? So yeah, like I'm bullish on AVAX ecosystem. I'm bullish on AVAX coin itself. And what I'm seeing for Joe here is kind of just holding Joe is like a 2x long on AVAX. It's pretty much just that. It's been acting this way for the past 3 months or so. Yeah, that's what I would tell you. So very, very clean chart. And yeah, if you're an AVAX fan, I think it's only a matter of how much volatility you want. If you want a bit more volatile asset, just get Joel. If you want a bit less volatile, you get AVAX. And you can adjust kind of your portfolio breakdown with AVAX and Joel breakdown, and even like supply liquidity and farm with decently high yield. Yeah, this is how I'm playing it. It's just bet on the entire AVAX ecosystem. Pretty much Joel. It's because it's just like it's pretty much leveraged AVAX. So that's Joel. I don't think its individual fundamentals even matter that much, even though it's super strong. But the only thing that it's really not hasn't really given it like the real wings is just because AVAX is so undervalued right now. Yeah, so that's that. Signups also good. It's right around $3.50. I don't think there's much to talk about there. A lot of people are accumulating signups. If you just search on Twitter like signups accumulate, you'll see like people have dug into Etherscan and saw like there's this guy that's like buying like 100K of signups like every hour for the past like week or so. It's just gone nuts. So yeah, this is still by far the best bridge there is. So if you're into multi-chain, you've tried all the Phantom, AVAX, Avalanche, Solana, Terra, Near, all these things, this is the best bridge by far. So why not bet on people needing to bridge, right? So this is no-brainer. What else? Tempo DAO is about to come out this week. They're tweeting memes. Yeah, their opening ceremony will require you to do some tasks within their Discord to like show that you understand the project. But aside from that, there's no whitelist. There's nothing else that you need to do. Anyone can join. You don't need to be early. You don't need to know anyone. You just need to follow their announcements, and they'll give you a guide to show that like, oh, you understand the project and you can contribute. You can buy Temple and Bond. So that's coming this week. Look out for that. So like next 4 days. Mirror Circle. Squid DAO is another thing. Ohm Fork that I'm in. I think it's very undervalued. That's it. I think that's all the stuff that I'm in. That I see like currently very like I can act on this week. But still, keeping an eye on everything that I mentioned in this. Oh yeah, also thought parachains, right? But we have to look at the actual numbers when the crowd loans come live to see like if it's overvalued or undervalued. Yeah, but definitely keep an eye on this pin. Yeah, this is how I'm playing it. So yeah, let's move on to Q&As. Starting off with events chat. In Discord. I just about the squid. I read article that it dumped and I were in it. Did you exit before all that happened? No, you are in the wrong squid. There's a squid scam on BSC. It's completely different. Like I tweeted and tagged the one I'm in and what it is many times. Like if you just bought like a random ticker, I can't help you. It's like I saw the scam. I tweeted many times that like squid is not the scam. And many people tag me like, hey, look, there's a scam on BSC. Like it's a scam. Why are you getting into this? I said, this is the wrong one. This is the right one. If you still got scammed, like I can't help you. Yeah, I can't help you. Anubis, they are contacting law enforcement now, specifically Sisyphus. I check his Twitter like twice a day. Yeah, I think it's very likely that we can get our money back. Very likely. Better to stake or bond squid? Definitely stake. Bond is different from stake. And I think currently the bond is not giving you profits actually because price has pumped too much. So yeah, definitely stake is the better one right now. Any thoughts on metaverse narrative? It's good. It's good. We covered it a lot yesterday, right? Like pretty much for an hour. A lot of the shitcoins that you see pumping, like UFO, PYR, those will. I'm not in those because those are literally all-time high. But I think Mirror Circle is a decent chance to get in that. Get in the metaverse narrative. I think stuff like Immunovax, even Axie when Ronin comes out. And what else? Efinity. Yeah, early stuff that's really blue chip that people haven't talked about. I think those are good. Oh, there's this thing called what's it called? I don't think many people know about this, but there's a thing called crypto unicorns. This one. I'd be surprised if anyone has heard of this. But this, I think Bitcraft is in this. And they have already locked down their their Miso launchpad. And this is a very big scale project. I would say this could be similar caliber as Axie, but they haven't even done their pre-sale yet for their eggs, Genesis eggs. So if you're in the metaverse, this is one that I don't think many people even know. So I'm watching this, and they have a Genesis egg sale on November 15th. Meta Heroes pumped like 10x already, so that's up there with PYR and UFO. You can get in, you can chase more yield, but it's pumped a lot. So yeah. Just to add to the Joe TA enter yesterday at 2.29 at the bottom, descending triangle, descending wedge. Nice. Any news on near eco? Still good. I mean, here is kind of where you want to buy the dip if you're in near eco. News is big. NearCon is this week, right? Yeah, so that doesn't mean like it's just gonna moon 100% like every day, but this is kind of where you want to buy the breakout retest for near eco for like the Refinance, Paras, Skyward, Octopus. Yep. When you're heavy on alts and want to be ready to cycle into BTC in case of pumps, do you stake, pool, EDC, or just hold? I stake. Why not? Doesn't really matter to me. I know what I have. Like, why would you only hold? I'm not going to forget about it. I know exactly how many of each I have and which ones are at what price. Yeah. Aurora. Yeah. Aurora is another good one in their eco. Aurora just launched, right? I think so. Mainnet. Do you think Tractor will have more utility? I don't know. We're looking at ICE after BTC pumps. Yeah. Everything in the Twitter pin. Yes. Light mode for charts earlier blinded me. Nice. It is on Solana's game to play to earn. Yeah. I know Meta Hero. It's good, but it's pumped like I said, like 10x already, even from listing price. So DOT breaking all-time high right now. Yeah, because parachain auctions are literally starting this week. Problems are starting this week. Do you have any opinion on Terra ecosystem? Good. I don't have the energy to keep up on Terra, Solana, DOT, Moonriver, Moonbeam, like Cosmos, Secret, AVAX, Phantom, every single ecosystem. I just can't do all of them. I would lose track. Yeah, so it's good. Terra is great, but I just I don't have the energy to do every single one. So NearCon over? Is it? Okay, maybe it's over. Okay, let's check YouTube, Twitter comments and questions. Let's see. Yeah, but that is simple to say when consolidation happened, not when it is consolidating. Well, if someone can tell you that next week we are for sure going to consolidate, like, sure, listen to them. But I can tell you nobody can give you that guarantee, right? So what you're asking of is literally impossible, right? So you cannot tell the consolidation and for how long, at what price before it happens, right? So I don't know what to tell you. Like, I would say trending period is a bit more obvious to tell. So here's what I would say, right? How I would do it is, let's say you're watching Bitcoin and you want to figure out when Bitcoin is trending, when Bitcoin is consolidating, so you can be in and out of belts. So trending periods are much more obvious. Consolidation periods are much more iffy. So once Bitcoin broke above here, right? So it made a higher high, made a higher low. It took out the previous higher high. This here was a period where you did not want to be in alts because you knew it was in an uptrend, even in the very short term, right? Now we are currently in a consolidation period, right? But once Bitcoin breaks above the previous higher high, now that would mean we are in a trending period again because we have a higher high. We're waiting for the next higher low. That would be the rotate back into Bitcoin. Now, when will that happen? I don't know, right? When will this consolidation period stop? Is that going to be a year? Is that going to be a week, tomorrow, 1 month? Nobody knows. Nobody can give you a guarantee for that. But that's why you need to watch and react. When this comes, you know to rotate, right? Like that's what it is. So yeah, I get what you mean that, oh, look, like you didn't tell us we're going to start consolidating right at 66K because I didn't know. Nobody could have known. Like that's a meme, right? But what I can tell you is once higher highs have been taken out, the trend will be clear. And that's when we know for sure we're not consolidating. And that's when you want to be in Bitcoin. But when you rotate into alts, it is pretty difficult. There's no doubt about that. I cannot give you a very, very active, like very accurate kind of signal every time and say, oh, look, we touched 66K. Now I'm buying alts because the next 2 weeks we're going to be in alt season. Like, well, that's very hard to say. Yeah. So I get what you mean, but that's not what I'm saying I can do either, right? Yeah. BTC on-chain analysis news. I don't really do that, so I can't tell you. Really, really hard to break 70K, 80K areas. Sure, yeah. Historically, the cycle ends in December. People are saying that this cycle will extend to March or June. What are your thoughts? I don't think it can end. I don't think it will end in December. Like it would just be so explosive for the next 2 months because we're literally November 1st now. If it ends December 30th, we have 60 days. And what's the cycle top? I think the cycle top would at least be 100, 150K. So what are we? Bitcoin is going to 2.5, 3x in 2 months. Like that's a bit of a stretch, right? So yeah, I think it'll be a bit longer. Any updates on years? Are you still bullish despite a downtrend? Of course. Yeah. But you just because it's good, it's bullish, doesn't mean like it's just gonna go straight up. So just gotta buy dips, right? And handle your position sizes. R&R of an ohm fork versus ohm. Sure. So if you look at actually I made a tweet about this, like just very, very clearly. Let me bring that up so I don't have to redo it. Where are we? Here. So let me bring this up. So each ohm fork have a Doom Analytics dashboard, right? To compare like the market cap of the coin itself versus how much risk-free value or what the ohm or squid or whatever else time is pegged to, right? Or backed by. In ohm's case, each ohm is backed by one DAI, right? So that's the risk-free value, the supposed stable asset. So you see here, actually, Dune ohm. If you just Google Dune ohm or Dune dashboard ohm, right? First result here, you see that these projects are backed, not pegged, because the real like floor price of 1 ohm is technically like this, right? So floor market cap of ohm is something like 160 million, right? Because there are that many DAIs and other stablecoins in the treasury. So if you take the market cap of ohm divided by this, that's like 20x, right? 25x, right? So ohm is trading at like 25 times the risk-free value or what the floor price is. Versus if you look at the Doom Analytics for something like Squid, which I think is very undervalued per this metric. Right. Squid's market cap is 110 million. and the risk-free value is 23 million. So this is trading at like 4.2, 4. Less than 4.5, right? So almost trading at like 25 times floor price, whereas Squid is trading at like 4.5. That's the undervaluation, right? That I'm seeing. So you can take the same R&R comparison and apply it to time, Clima, 0 to whatever, like Rome, Metro DAO, all these other ones, and see like how much risk-free value is in the treasury and how high of a premium the actual coin itself is trading at. Pretty good metric to compare these Ohm forks. Yeah, so that's what I do. Any short-term, long-term advice on Tractor? I think it's just super cheap. Like it's 20 million. It's Trader Joe's official meme coin. The main accounts haven't been talking about it, so yeah, I think this will. I'm betting on this to pump like in the next week or so. If it doesn't, I will just have to kind of admit defeat because it has to be a short-term pump. It's not a long-term play because it's a meme coin, but yeah, I'm betting on that. So based on that analysis, you can adjust your position size as well, right? Yeah, so it should be a smaller position size. Ampleforth lending on Aave, I've tried this. It's not that innovative, to be honest with you. It's basically Ohm on Rari, but like a way less productive. Link could get to Link has been just like doing nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I would not recommend holding Link if you are a even blue chip holder, right? You still think that a layer one narrative is still in course? I don't really want to dig too much into the lower cap layer ones like Glitch, Cardano, Hedera, Beam. I don't know. I think I have enough. Like I'd rather just have Solana, Terra, AVAX, Cosmos, Secret. I think these things are still haven't run parabolic. Most of them haven't. So yeah, Solana is pretty much the only one that has gone parabolic. So yeah, I'm not like I don't want to have like 20 layer ones for what? I want a few that I'm convinced about, right? So I can dig into the ecosystem, know what it's doing. I can't follow 20 ecosystems and know which ones are doing what. That's too much of a waste of time. Layer 1 narrative versus metaverse hype, risk and reward are better on layer 1 IMO. I wouldn't say. If you're aping into like the shitcoin metaverses, like your UFO and PYR and MetaHero type of thing, yeah, it's pretty overextended. But if you are looking at stuff I'm looking at, like Mirror Circle, Infinity, IMX coming up, then those are pretty decent. I would say I'm personally positioned in both, right? Thor chain, if I were to take any other bets aside from Synapse in the multi-chain bridge narrative, I would take Thor chain, but I don't know it enough. I've never done a research into like what they're unique of. For. So yeah, I don't have any, but it's very good for multi-chain narrative. It's very big though. Also, you rotate on pullback retesting previous all-time high. Yeah, if let's say we get a weekly close above 65k Bitcoin, that will pretty much be a break of all-time high, right? New price discovery, I will probably rotate then. And on the daily, that would probably be a retest of the previous all-time high. Yeah. Exchange tokens, I don't know. They aren't that hot. The only ones like BNB, like even FTT, isn't doing that well. It's pretty slow. So and BNB is like mostly because of BSC, not Binance Exchange. So yeah. I don't know. I don't think exchange token too hot right now. How's your daily routine like? Do you research all day? Do you once in a while? Like literally like 12 hours a day. So yeah. I wake up. If I'm on my phone, I'm on Twitter. If I'm on the computer, I'm on Twitter. If I'm anywhere, I'm on Twitter. So it's like literally 12 hours a day. If I'm eating, I'm doing this on Twitter. So what do you think of Samo? I saw you follow me on Twitter. It's a meme coin on Solana. It's like the dog coin on Solana. I don't have an opinion. It's pumped like way too much already. I think the dog hype is very difficult to chase. Is there something fundamental that makes Ohm safer than a fork? No. More money is in it. It has been around longer. It has seen the test of time. It has had like 2 major corrections already, but it has not broken. Right. So that's what it is. Right. That's kind of comparing like, okay, what makes Bitcoin? No. Okay, that's bad comparison. What makes I don't have a good comparison because it's purely asset based, right? So it's price history and market cap that makes it more trustworthy, because you can only trust code so far, right? If you compare the code of Ohm versus a fork, it's the same because it's a fork. So it's not like they're doing some they just have different better security practices. I don't know, but more money is in it, so people are willing to put their money where their mouth is. So that's a better sign than any, right? Because we're not like security researchers, right? So the CRO is just not doing anything yet. So I don't know what this block is. I think it's pretty hype meme coin. Like I don't know if it's a meme coin, but a lot of people are talking about it like as a. I haven't looked into it. I don't even know what it is. You're still bullish on Solana? Yeah, of course. Top 5 coins or tokens to buy and hold for say 10 years. Bitcoin and ETH. I don't have any other. If you give me a time lock and say you have a trust, you can put whatever only crypto in there, and you can only open it in 10 years. I will only buy Bitcoin and ETH. I will not buy anything else. I do not trust anything else to not go to zero over 10 years. Yeah. I have no idea what this gimme is. I suggest you not spam your whatever that shit is, and I'm going to block you. Sorry, dude. Please no shitcoin chills. Yeah. Okay, let's see if any other questions on Discord. Let's see. What do you think will happen to IMX marketplace if ETH 2.0 is a success, regardless of gas fees? So, first off, ETH 2.0 is not really going to kill layer 2s. You have to understand that, right? Because ETH 2.0, let's say it can do 1,000, 5,000 transactions per second. I don't know what the scaling is, but you're talking specifically about sharding, right? So ETH 2.0 has sharding, but there are currently blockchains that already do sharding. AVAX subnet is technically one, I would say. I think Near does sharding already, but still. And also on Solana, you have Solana is already like more scalable than sharding blockchains, right? But even so, on these networks, there are roll-up scaling solutions that are taking off, right? So the layer 1 scaling faster is not going to kill layer 2s, because you can always have faster, right? And better user experience. Like, it's not like it's going to be like infinitely fast. There is a limit. And it's not like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 transactions per second is that powerful. Because in the last cycle, we have already had like Tron, EOS do like few thousand transactions per second, and that went nowhere. So yeah, like it's not really going to kill layer twos. Quite the contrary, actually. They are very, very complementary. Yeah. And also, one thing that I like IMX specifically a lot is, as far as I know, they are the only ETH native layer 2 for NFTs and like play to earn, this kind of stuff. That's a actual layer 2, right? You have the Ronin chain, but Ronin chain, you can think of it more like Polygon. I think that's the design. It's a side chain. They can market it as side chain. They can have tons of support, right? They can try to not do hostile takeover, support all the infrastructure. But at the end, Polygon is another chain, right? It's not ETH layer 2. I think Ronin is very similar to that. So when you, let's say you have a NFT on ETH and you want to keep your NFT on ETH because it's the most secure, it's very difficult to transfer to Polygon and still say, okay, like it's the same level of security. That's quite difficult. But if you transfer to Optimism, technically that's pretty good. That's like the same security as ETH because it's a true layer 2. Now, Optimism and Arbitrum, these layer 2s are not designed for NFTs. They're not great because of the challenge period, because of the optimistic rollup way where you have to just assume that there's no constant keep up of the asset on the base chain. So when you want to get your base, like your, let's say, an NFT back on the layer 1 chain on ETH back, you have to wait a very long period of time. You have to wait 7 days for the challenge period. So by design, optimistic rollups are not good for NFTs and play to earn. The true way to do it, right? For play to earn, this is like the play to earn future that I see is, firstly, you need the actual chain to be like really secure to hold, like, let's say $1 million asset, right? If you have this like what's a good play to earn? Let's say you have a Star Atlas ship that's worth $1 million, like a mothership, right? You don't want that to be on BSC or Polygon because the chain, yeah, I don't know if the provenance is strong enough to hold $1 million of an NFT asset. So if you develop on those chains, they might not be around in like 3 years. But if your mothership worth $1 million is on ETH, like that's very, very convincing, right? But ETH, you cannot have a mothership on ETH and then the play to earn logic on Polygon and have that cross chain. That is extremely difficult, right? When you want to either transfer the asset over or like have it act as collateral and sign a message on ETH chain and say, like, I want to do this action on Polygon, very, very difficult, right? Ronin does that for Axis, but like you have to transfer the assets over anyways. And like if one Axis is worth $1 million, I don't know if I would trust the Ronin chain, right? Over a very long period of time. Obviously Ronin is pretty good for this already, but and this is like one of the things that's really bullish for Axie is like they can onboard a bunch of projects that want to build NFTs that live on ETH but have gameplay logic on Ronin chain, like another bullish case for Axie. But again, a very, very limited set of networks that support this kind of logic, where your main asset lives on ETH, your play to earn, your game logic lives on another chain. And that bridge or whatever the concept is trustless. The real solution, I think it's Immutable X, and I think it's the future version of Immutable X. The current Immutable X, when they launch, is like still a bridge where you can send your assets over and you can play there and then you can send it back. And it's ETH native, right? So you will not lose your assets. It's even when it's on Immutable X, it's going to be backed by the security of ETH. However, there's no like really good integration there yet. So you cannot say deploy like whatever smart contract arbitrarily on Immutable X. You have to do that on ETH. But the future version, the future for Metaverse, true play to earn that's fast and secure, like with provenance on ETH at the same time, is ZK rollups and ZK Sync. And it's not optimistic rollup. So the only, the true player that's doing this is like Starkware and ZK Sync and Immutable X. So this will not be ready. It will probably be like when ETH2 sharding actually comes out. This is like very future state, but if you want to have both decent security, like such that anytime like you have your provenance of your mothership worth $1 million and you can do stuff like microtransactions on a mothership, that's very future state. But I don't think that will be very multi-chain, because I don't want $1 million asset to live on any other chain other than Ethereum. I don't trust their provenance. I don't trust that BSC will be around for like 3 to 4 years for my collectible NFT worth $1 million to live on there. I don't want it like that. I want it to be on ETH, because ETH has that much longer history that I trust that its state is not going to be majorly forked where I lose it. Versus BSC, I don't know. Polygon, I don't know, right? Both because how centralized it is and because like it doesn't have that long of a state where there's so many assets, like even CryptoPunks lives on there, and like just think of the implications of forking Bored Apes and CryptoPunks, like forking the chain, having a split, hard fork, and you have 2 versions of CryptoPunks. That would be a nightmare. Nobody would do that. But on BSC, it's not that bad, right? Like CZ can just go through all the DeFi protocols, Pancake, and say, you know what? Let's like go all get together and figure out like, okay, like this is the fork we're going to do. On ETH, you cannot reach that kind of consensus. You cannot have 2 versions of everything. So the provenance is very strong. On BSC, I don't think so. So yeah, while I do think DeFi is multi-chain, I don't know if Metaverse, specifically the core NFT asset, is going to be multi-chain. I don't know. So yeah, bit of a rant, but yeah, that's like a bit of fundamental thesis. Yeah. Did you notice bullish divergence on weekly chart of Bitcoin dominance? I don't think that's even possible, but okay. Is that a question at all? Where is the bullish divergence? How do you look at I can tell you that like I know where the bullish divergence you're referring to is, but it's not on a weekly chart. It's probably on like daily or 4 hour, right? Like, yeah, I notice it, sure. Like right here. This is probably a bullish divergence if you just bring up RSI. Yeah, bullish divergence. Nice. Like, not even. No, this is not a bullish divergence. I don't know what do you want me to say, bro? Like, what are you talking about? You don't give me a chart. You don't give me where the divergence is. You don't tell me where the indicator is. Like, what is the question? It just tells me like you know what the fuck you're talking about. So it's time to dislike and time to unfollow, bro. Like, let me block you. Bye. Yeah, like I don't I don't need that kind of shit. That's what Pulse is doing, forking ETH, double your NFT collection. Yeah, I don't know how that will go. You know, I really don't know how that will go. I was in the sacrifice, but I don't know. It's just so wild. What about Tron? We haven't heard anything about Justin. Yeah. What about it? Like, there's not much in there, right? Dot is good. Parachains are coming. Get into parachains. Thoughts on your ecosystem and upcoming projects? Good, man. What can I tell you? Like, if you're gonna ask questions, please be more specific. I know that people like to ask this way. Like, hey, like I heard this newer thing is hot. Please tell me how I can make money here. I'm not gonna answer those kind of questions because, like, if you have a specific question as to like, oh, like when do you think this is, and like price, or which project is this good or bad? Like, do they have events and this and that? Have you heard of this? What do you think about this? Are you getting this in this or not? Good. But thoughts on, if you start a question with thoughts on, I will not answer because that's just, you have not done enough research and we cannot talk. Yeah. I'm happy to discuss, but I'm not happy to just hold your hand and teach and tell you what to do, right? Yeah. Do you think second-layer protocols will matter after ETH upgrade? Again, no. Just rewind back the video 15 minutes and you'll see they will for sure matter. Yeah. They're complementary. They are not competitors. What next for the DAO? Just continue doing what we're doing, right? Like providing alpha, doing more quests. We have quite a few quests lined up where people can earn bacon and earn project tokens. Yeah, that's kind of that. Like, get more members, talk about it on Twitter, talk about it on TikTok, do live streams, make people realize that like these, like spell, we were super early on that, and if you were in a DAO, the alpha was crazy. I think this mirror circle is going to be pretty good alpha. Clima DAO, we made good alpha. Squid, we made good alpha. Anubis, we got rugged, but I'm still following, right? Just like straight up, right? Tempo, right? We've been following Tempo for like 2 months. Really good alpha. I give like exactly like what the valuation is, like follow you every day right when they launch, right? We can talk about how you can get into the opening ceremony. Yeah, that's what the DAO is. That's a helping each other and like really giving them top alpha, right? That doesn't necessarily have to mean like we're gonna be $1 billion worth of bacon, but yeah. What's NFT incubator meant to be exactly? Is it still on the cards? Not currently. So that was when NFT launches were not so scammy. I was like 6 months ago. At the current period, nobody is making profits off of NFT like collectible launches. No collectors are making money off of those. So we don't want to do them because they're not profitable. Not even for the members. So yeah, we're not doing that right now because it's not a good project. It's not useful. It doesn't really make anybody money. So yeah. What's like even private sales as part of pools don't really make that much money right now. Because the kind of deals are really shit. We are trying to do it kind of the Quest way, where let's say if there are private sales and we can make it very tied into the Quest where everyone have to learn about it and like you have to pass the quiz, you have to do the quest in order to join the private sale. Like that could be something interesting. For that, we can get like pretty higher caliber of projects, but we don't want to be a DAO where like oh, we just show stuff on Twitter, show stuff on TikTok, let everyone go retweet and like, join this campaign, join their Telegram, spam everywhere to get a private sale so then we can dump. I've seen that happen. We've done it with NFT tech. I've seen a lot of our members even specifically asking, why didn't we get this early? Like I wanted to dump right at listing. Those are not the type of projects we want to work with. Because that's not investing. That's literally pump and dumping. Like we don't want to do that. So yeah, we want to do what's profitable, and also technically speaking, the more legit ones are way more profitable. So yeah, currently what we can do is like the secondary market alpha and these LBPs that anyone can get in. We'll like walk you through it, make sure you don't miss it. That's more than enough. But yeah, we want to work with the kind of projects that like do more fair launches, and with this quest system, we think like, yeah, it will be way better. So that we can, the projects we work with are higher caliber. It won't turn into a pump and dump, and members will have higher profit margin, and the projects can also reap benefits from partnering with us because they have to go through Quest, because all of our members will have to believe in it. Yeah, that's kind of the model that's way better as part of a DAO. Yeah. NFT tech, unfortunately, like literally every single investor in that got scammed. Yeah, it's just what it is. Like I personally lost like 30K, I think. Yeah, it is what it is. Favorite NFT ever and why? Punks by far. Why Bacon is not moving for a while? Your plan to boost it? I'm not here to boost Bacon prices so you can sell it. Like, oh, buy it today, I will boost it tomorrow so you can sell it. What the fuck is that? Join our DAO, right? Like, membership is very cheap, right? You take the Bacon, you stake it, or you farm it, provide liquidity, you help the DAO, and you get a lot of early alpha, like the stuff we talk about. And every day we post Bitcoin analysis, right? So you can know for sure when Bitcoin is breaking out, and you can, Wonka is doing daily altcoin analysis, right? That's the fundamentals of it. I'm not gonna go out there and like pump Bacon. Obviously, the material we have, I think the timing is right to post about them a lot, because DAO narratives with Pebble DAO, with information token, it's good. But I'm not gonna fucking boost your portfolio. That's not what my job is. What my job is like get what our content is, the kind of alpha we have out there. Yeah, we're actively doing that. Yeah. I think so far, like I'm pretty happy with where we've gotten. And I think a lot of the people have been washed out where they're like not members, but yeah, we're at a really good position to like really start to ramp up. Yeah. How about to buy a DAO Punk? Why would we do that? Why would we do that? We can, okay, something we can do is like party bid. Yeah, there are a lot of stuff we can do with the DAO, where if there are clearly kind of really good NFTs that can generate revenue for us, for everyone involved, we can do a party bid. I've thought about that for like Squid, but Squid interface isn't supported. But yeah, stuff like that, but definitely not a Punk. Like, why would Punk is not a productive asset. It just sits there. And it's not like we can distribute the Punk and like everyone that puts money in can make money. That's not, If there are those opportunities, make sure you propose them. We will do them. But punk is not the way. Mr. Maybiz live. Could I get a quick summary? No, you cannot. Just go back and watch it. There are no new dot gems. The ones I'm doing is just Moonbeam, Akala, Astar. That's it. GMX is good. I'm a fan of GMX. Yeah. Derivatives on Arbitrum is a good narrative. It's a good use case. Updated roadmap to reflect that. Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that. Okay. What do you think the price will be over the next few days? I don't know, man. I mean, I know, but we talked about it like twice already. So, yeah. Maybe I'll give I think when the LBP launches, I'll probably give I'll write the numbers down, like what my targets are in the Discord in Bacon Streams. Yeah, that would make sense. You think the ratio is going to be on Dot Moonbeam? I know it depends on how much people adopt the parachain. Yeah. I know that too. So that's what I think. How am I supposed to know? How's that relevant? Like, I don't know. It can be 0.1. It could be 1 million. I don't know. I really don't know. They can raise 10 million. They can raise 10 billion. Anything's possible. Like, why would we try to do that? Why talk about it that way? That's such a meme. Is Polkadot better play than PokeSwap? I don't have an opinion. I've seen both. I've tried both. Both are pretty good. I have no opinion. I know both teams. They're both good teams. Yeah. Okay, I think that's about it. I think questions are kind of getting pretty weird. Which is a good time to wrap it up. Let's see. What's your thought? I am wrong to take the all-time high of Joel for starting to take profit for a small market like this. I'm afraid of small asset volatility. Sometimes all-time high is good, also good indicators to buy. I'm confused. This is a decently good question. Yeah. So usually, first thing is your position size should not be too much that let's say you buy Joe at like $3.50, right? It drops to 2.5. Even though it's within the same volatile range, right? If you have put in such a big amount of your portfolio that when it drops even an expected amount that you are getting sweaty and you're saying, oh no, like I lost too much of my portfolio. Next time it goes to break even, you want to sell and exit. That is a bad strategy, but it not because that's the right thing to do, but because you put in too much in the first place, right? So first thing you need to do is limit your position size so that on these expected volatile dips, you are completely fine, right? So that's the first thing you need to do. Second is when it comes up to test the previous all-time high and breaks, right? That's actually when you want to increase your previously small position, right? Break of previous all-time high is good time to enter because that's when the next rally starts. But most people take profit and like what's it called? Sell at a break even at previous all-time high. Why? Because they usually FOMO in just at the previous all-time high at too much of their portfolio, and then they just like they cannot take it. and they just like rather break even because the position size is wrong, right? So if in the first place, right, when it's ranging and hasn't broken out and your position size is small enough, the breakout retest is a time to double down. Yes. But that has to be based on the assumption that initially your position size isn't that large anyways, right? So yeah, two-part to that question, but yes, usually you don't want to be taking profit when it just breaks previous all-time high. That's not the right thing to do. When the run starts, usually you double down. Most people don't do this, and most people do the opposite. And they say, oh, why would you buy high and sell low? Well, you're not, right? You are buy high and selling higher, right? Because the break of previous all-time, let's take a chart and make it a bit clearer, right? So let's say Bitcoin, yeah. So let's say within this range, right? If you are to take a early long position on Bitcoin, right, before it breaks above the previous all-time high here, right, you can't do too convincing kind of play because you don't know like if this run up is going to stop here and like do this, or if it's going to do that, or if it's actually going to carry on and like breakout retest, right? You don't know. So this will be an early kind of smaller position, right? So in this case, if you entered too heavily, right? Let's say you enter here and it has a healthy dip like that, where it drops 10%, even though it respects the previous higher high, respects the previous higher low, but drops 10%. The people that are super aggressive and greedy will be sweaty on these kind of 10% play, such that when it comes up to retest the previous all-time high again, they would say, okay, no, like I've been sweating for half a month. I need to break even. I need to exit. I cannot take this anymore. That's why most people end up selling right here. But if you're doing it right, when you take an early position like that in this kind of range, you don't want to be putting all your position in. Instead, you wait, right? You wait till you do some here, and then you wait till the breakout retest, and then you double down here. Because it starts trending when the breakout retest completes, right? And when it starts trending, yes, right, this price level here is higher than here, yes. But the point is not to always buy at the super low price and sell at a super high price, because you can argue the same, like, oh, why didn't you buy at fucking $3,000, right? If you always take that kind of argument, nobody would buy at 60K, at 50K. But we're not going below 30. Well, we're not going to go to 20K, 10K again, right? So why aren't you saying that, oh no, why would you buy Bitcoin at 60K? Like 10K is cheap. Because you're not going to get that opportunity anymore, right? Well, similar kind of thing here also, right? When you zoom in to, let's say, daily, and you break previous all-time high here, right? Let's say you want to enter Bitcoin. You buy a little bit here, right? Because you think it's decently cheap, but it hasn't really gone like started the next rally yet, right? When it does start to do this, and prices here, you can buy again. You can double down. Why is that? It's because the chance of it dipping below here is much lower than before. And then the chance of it going below here is way lower than when it was here, right? So that's the same thing as saying like, oh, like I'm buying 40K dip. I'm not buying 10K because 10K has been so long ago that I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm willing to buy because this dip is now a dip, even though price is technically 40K is higher than 10K, but you don't expect 10K to be revisited because the uptrend has gone up so much longer that now 40K is a dip, right? Same thing if on the daily time frame, when it can break above previous all-time high and dip to retest the previous all-time high, now this becomes a dip, right here. So you don't want to always like think, oh, I'm buying high. Why? Like it was 50K last week. I cannot buy here. And then next week, when it's at 60K, when it's at 70, you say, oh no, it was 60K last week. I cannot buy here. No, the point is not to buy at absolute levels of high and low. It's to buy dips on an uptrend, right? First, the uptrend has to be clear. And then what is the cheap point on the uptrend? It's the dips, right? So that's what you do. That's buying low, selling high. So yeah, like apply it to Joe, right? Currently, is the uptrend clear yet? No, it's not clear. But if it goes back to $4 and break, let's say get to $4.50 and comes back down to retest $4, the uptrend would be clear again. In which case, $4 becomes a dip. Currently, it's not a dip, right? $4 seems very expensive because we're trading at $2.50. But you buy right now, you cannot say very, very confidently that we are going to start the uptrend. So your position size can't be too big. And same as when it starts the uptrend, you don't want to be like putting all your position there. So you can take an early bet at 250, and then when it breaks the all-time high and starts to retest all-time high, starts a new uptrend, $4 becomes a dip, you double down there because the uptrend has to establish itself. That's trading. So yeah, that's what I do. That's what most people don't do because they buy in too early because they're looking at $2.50 and they're drawing meme uptrends when they're not there yet and saying this could happen, and then they buy at $2.50, it drops to $2 because they've all of a sudden that small dip, they're super sweaty. So then next time they go to $2.50, they break even. They take a break even, and then uptrend when the uptrend actually establishes itself, because they don't know what they're doing, they would say, oh, fuck, how could I sell at break even? Now it's too high. They look at $4. No, I was in at $2.50. It's at $4. No, I cannot buy this anymore. And then they're like, wait. They don't buy. Even though $4 breakout retest is a dip when the uptrend establishes itself. And then they wait till like $8. And they FOMO again because they like are confident enough at $8 to FOMO in. And then it dips to $7. And then they rinse and repeat. Eventually they go broke. You see the pattern? So that's comes from a lot of experience. And the best way to avoid doing that is to control your position size in the first place, control your risk in the first place, right? So yeah, like that journey I just described, I've gone through it so many times, like in 2017, 2018, that like I just know what's going to happen. And if I feel that way, I know that, oh, like it's not necessarily my analysis is wrong. It's just I'm oversizing. So I downsize and all of a sudden I'm chill, you know? So yeah. How do you decide when to sell in an uptrend run? Yeah, so also good question. So let's say we take this here, right? Let's say this is Bitcoin. Let's say like you waited, like you didn't want to buy this like kind of falling knife, ugly pattern, right? But you saw this range, right, from 30K to 40K. And then you waited till it breaks out, right? So it does this very convincingly with volume. And then it comes back down to retest kind of this level, right? You see? Right around 40K. And you said, oh yeah, here I buy, right? Because breakout retest, right? Break of range, retest, good, I buy here. And then let's say you bought there. And then when do you sell? Or at least in the very short term, if you're a trader, when do you sell? Well, you wait until, if you are like trading short term, I would say the first time that it printed lower high there, that's a signal to sell, right? Because if you're treating, this is a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, pretty iffy already. Technically, lower high, you see? This is high, this is lower high. Sorry, this is the first higher low, this is the lower low. So once it makes a lower low and a lower high, this is where you sell. So your trade would be from here to here, right? Which would be like, here is the breakout retest, ride the higher high, higher lows, and then boom, lower high, a lower low, lower high. Here you sell, right? And then, because you know at least the short-term trend has broken, that would be a 25% trade, right? So if you're an active trader, that's what you would do. Obviously, this is Bitcoin and we're a bull market, and I don't even do that. That's dumb. I would never do that. So then you can zoom out and say, okay, like if you're riding medium-term trade, what are you doing, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, still higher low, right? So continue doing this. But let's say, what would be the bearish case for this to be broken, right? That would be higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This we need to be broken, right? And then on the shoulder here, below the previous higher high, this is where we will sell in the medium term. So this is why I'm so confident in Bitcoin right now. It's just, there's so much room that of buffer that like it's just pretty much not gonna happen. So yeah. But in any uptrend, right, whether you're short-term trading, long-term, very long-term, you can even make this out to weekly and say, okay, what is there, right? Here's the previous higher high, right? We're kind of testing the higher high. Here's higher low, here's higher low, right? So if we break out from here, great. We need to respect here, right? So very, very long-term, let's say the long-term bull market, where would the current bottom line be? Right here, right? So if it drops below there on the bounce, I probably exit, right? Because not only is that breaking the short-term market structure, also that would be like kind of double top, right? If it happens, very, very unlikely for that to happen, right? Yeah, so that's how you would sell in an uptrend. People saying that they can know, oh, like when just like randomly as this is trending up and doing this, like, oh, they know like this here is the top. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So for sure, you will miss quite a bit of like this profit, right? Now, if this was the top, you will miss this much, 33% from the top. If let's say it goes to 100K is the top, right? And let's say it does like this goes to 100K, right? And then tops out, drops below this lower high, higher low, right? Then I need to zoom this. Yeah. Then you will be missing out on, again, 20%, 30% from the top, right? So people saying that they can sell the top, no, they can't. But if you are patient enough, and you know how to analyze the trends, you can recognize when an uptrend has stopped. Can you sell decently well around like average selling, like in the periods of like when the uptrend is stopping? Yes, you can. You can. Can you sell at the absolute top? No, you cannot. So yeah, this applies to weekly, this applies to daily, this applies to very short term day trade, right? Same thing. So yeah. You can't predict the top or the bottom, but yeah, if the trend has broken, where the higher low has broken, and you made a lower low, that will confirm that the uptrend has stopped, and that will not be the absolute top, but that would be like 30% from the top. So that's not bad, really not bad, right? So that's pretty much the best you can do. Yeah. No one in TA has a crystal ball. Yeah, no one in TA has a crystal ball. But you can react, right? If you are keen enough and you know what to watch for, you can react. Yes. Scarecrow Vault and Crim Fund. I have no idea what that is. What the fuck is that? Rapid memo. Oh, okay, this is time. Scarecrow Vault and Grim Finance risk comparison with borrowing and restaking. Oh, yeah. If you're doing a vault and you're collateralizing it, you're taking a leverage position, right? Make sure you understand that. Like if you borrow against it and then you buy more, restake, you have leverage. So if price goes down, your position could get liquidated, right? So make sure you understand that. Or not liquidated, but you might not be able to get your collateral back if actually, can you get? Yeah, you can get liquidated. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I wouldn't do that. Okay, so yeah, I think it's a good stream. It's a good session there, I think. In the way up, take profit and wait the retest on the all-time high. The price action changed for a higher price, but not the trading strategy. Yeah, exactly. Because like when it's above 4.5, you wouldn't be expecting to be, oh, like I'm waiting Joel to come back down to 2.5 and buy. Because if it breaks above 4 and starts uptrending, you don't want it to be at 2.5 again, because that means something is wrong and your analysis is wrong. Frankly, that's time to stop loss. So yeah, you don't always want things to be cheap, right? And to buy cheap, because if things always stay cheap, they're kind of not growing. They're not doing it right. So you want it to be an uptrend and buy when people are just selling in short-term dips. I have no idea what the Ergo platform is, unfortunately, so can't answer. Okay, I think that's about it. We're kind of running out of questions, and it's been 2 hours. So thank you everyone for joining. Has been a pretty good stream today, I would say. Yeah, pretty fun stuff. Love doing TA, love doing analysis. Yeah, if you want to be part of our DAO, join Bacon DAO. You can earn rewards by learning about like Polkadot projects, PokeSwap. We're working with other projects as well. You can learn TA. We have like daily analysis for Bitcoin alts. We have all the trades, right, for these kind of gems, for MirrorSwap, for Temple, stuff like that. Not just myself, but like other contributors as well. And you can talk with everyone else based on like what kind of niche you're into, right? Polkadot, Terra Luna, Atom, BSC, farming, low cap, NFTs, gaming, metaverse, whatever it is, right? So that's it. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys again on Wednesday, same time. And yeah, I think Wednesday we'll have analysis on Mirror Circle because the LBP will be live and we can go over it all together. Exciting. Yeah. Thanks for joining. I'll end it here. Bye, guys. Have a good one.